Yo, what up guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reacting to what the Black Lives Matter has a list of demands for white people. Okay, we can do so. Let's get it.
So Black Lives Matter leader just released a list of 10 things white people should give to black people. And I have to say, I haven't been ambitious enough in my letters to Santa. My name is Candace Owens, and you are watching my vlog series, The Myth of the Coon. So a lot of people have been wondering, what does Black Lives Matter want? I mean, to date, it seems like all they've really accomplished is burning down black neighborhoods, pissing off police officers, and ruining future employment opportunities for black kids that ride on their behalf and get arrested. Fortunately, Chanel Helm, the co-founder of BLM in Louisville, Kentucky, lays it out clearly in a pointed article entitled, White People. Here are 10 requests from a Black Lives Matter leader. Personally, I haven't seen a list as colorful since Veruca Salt told Willy Wonka that she wanted a geese to lay gold eggs for Easter, but hey, I'm just here to report the facts.
If you are wise, you listen to me.
Number 1 on her list. Chanel would like white people who have no children to leave their homes to black or brown families. So like if you worked your entire life to be able to afford a home but forgot to procreate, and you're thinking, I'm gonna leave my home to my brother or my sister. No, think again, whitey. Number 2, she explains that if you inherit a home, so like if your mom died and she left you a house, you should just immediately give it away to a black or brown family because you will be able to earn that somewhere else down the line in your white privileged life. Her words, not mine. Number 3 is for developers. She wants you guys to build homes and let black people live in them for free. I don't see any economical issues with that. Number 4, if you can afford to downsize, like I don't know, maybe your kids are off to college or something, then she expects you to move out and let a black family move in, preferably a black family that comes from generational poverty. I like that one the most because she says preferably an impoverished black family, but like it doesn't have to be, so you could also move out of your house and give it to a rich black family. Number 5, I'm going to read verbatim, which is just white people. If any of the people you intend to leave your property to are racist assholes, change the will. Do it right now. 6, rebudget your monthly so you can donate to black funds for land purchasing. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but every time I go to a white person's house and I see that they have HBO, I'm thinking, that's like $25.99 a month that could be going to me. Number 7 is for...
Yo, I don't really know. I'm guessing this list is true. I'm glad that I think I read somewhere they realized that the Black Lives Matter thing was a scam, because some of these demands are ridiculous, man.
For white woman, because this is your specialty. Nosy Jenny and meddling Kathy, get a racist fired. Get your boss fired, because they racist too. Number 8, she just uses to back up number 7, and she dedicates it to little D-I-C-K white men. She wants white women to also get them fired. Number 9, she wants these white girls to address these little D-I-C-K white men, and if they need to, assault them. Number 10, everybody!
I want today, I want tomorrow, I want to wear 'em like braids in my hair, and I don't want to share 'em!
Here's the thing. Some people might watch this video and think that I'm speaking out against black people. Actually, that's not true, and it couldn't be more the opposite. What I'm doing here is speaking up for black people, for the millions of us who do not think like this, who are not this ignorant, who are not this petulant, and who would never list something so low-aiming as the list that this girl presented to the community. It is incumbent upon each and every one of us black people who are aiming for education and advancement in society by not dwelling on the past but looking towards our futures to stand up and to say that this is absolutely and utterly reprehensible. Reprehensible not just because of its fantastical elements, but because it truly paints a grotesque picture of the African American community. It paints us like hobos and beggars who cannot accomplish anything on our own without sticking our hands out. It is an absolute shame that a woman like this is given a platform to speak, period. The facts are that every race since the beginning of humankind has experienced slavery, and only one of them is asking for reparations from people who didn't enslave them. Are there things that Caucasian people can help us rally for that will help close the gap on some systemic oppressions from the past? Absolutely. Asking them to give up their homes is not one of them. I will not tolerate this depiction of African Americans in the media, and every time I see something as mediocre as this, I will speak out against it. I'd like to wrap this up with a pro-fundraising tip. When asking people for money, maybe don't refer to them as meddling Kathys and nosy Jennies and little D-I-C-K white men.
Okay. She does clearly state some facts in what she's saying. I do agree. Some of these demands were ridiculous. The thing that comes, and this is my perspective of it as a black person, as an African. I'm not African American. It's you live in a time and a society where if you're looking for opportunities, obviously, it is difficult to seek opportunities outside of your community because you are an outsider when you're trying to get into those communities. So, like for example, as a black person applying for a job, as an African applying for a job in Canada, it's very difficult because my last name doesn't sound or ring like the last names of people out here. That's just reality. There's some form of bias. You can Google it, what it's called. Like people go for the people who look like them, who remind them of them, who live within their community, and that's just how it is, right? What I feel has had to happen is a lot of times in America they hold white people accountable for the actions of their ancestors or for things that have happened. But whilst I feel the entity that has to be held accountable is the government. The government has to invest in its minorities, especially in people who live in these poverty-stricken societies and communities. That's where you need to invest in those areas. Invest in education, invest in infrastructure, creating opportunities for people to become better and to find better lives. What ends up happening is you have organizations such as Black Lives Matter that pop up and have a lot of support because a lot of people do not have support who live within those communities who need this help. And when someone is able to rally a group of people, they become that leader. And what ends up happening, they end up getting a platform, but without the education or knowledge of how to use that said platform. This thing was an opportunity to be able to voice certain concerns that could be heard. But then when you start making absurd demands, it's like people don't take you really seriously. If you're like, hey, give up your house for this. It's like, no. Create opportunities so that people can make an income to be able to buy homes for their families rather than be like, my demand is give up your house or this and that. I feel like the solutions, they do exist in how we solve the inequalities that exist within the world. Like there are solutions, but then we have to speak to not academic but at an intelligent level, that gets you heard and from a profitable level for everybody across the board. Because hey, if someone has capital, for them, you live in America, which is a capitalistic society, you have to speak the capitalism language. You cannot then speak socialistic language in a capitalistic state. I feel like that's a problem. With that said, let me know what are your thoughts on this list that Miss Owens read off for us. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next